Good morning, y'all. I come to you this morning in June from Buongiorno Coffee Shop, where I'm enjoying a nice cup of coffee, and I just wanted to talk to you for a few minutes about a recent trip to New York and about my coffee shop love in general. So, last weekend I went to New York City and I had the pleasure of visiting Stumptown and Intelligentsia Coffee. Why do I like these coffee shops? You know, they are a couple of coffee shops that are on the top 3 or 4 list of best coffee in the country. If you want to find out more about that, look at Thrillist.com, Thrillist.com, for an article written by people that interviewed coffee shop owners and coffee writers around the country to get their opinions on the best coffee in the country. Let me tell you about Stumptown. It started in 1999 in Portland, Oregon, and it has locations in New York, New Orleans, California, and it's based in Portland, Oregon. And very good coffee. My favorite. It rates number 1 or number 2, depending on who you read, whose writings you read in this country. Another top one is Intelligentsia, which started in 1995 in Chicago. They have locations in LA, Chicago, and New York. And I recently visited the New York location in the Highline Hotel. And it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good, but I went to Stumptown the next day and it was amazing. The quality was the same in New York as I've experienced in their Portland location. The funny thing is that both of these companies, Intelligentsia and Stumptown, are now owned by Peet's Coffee, or the holding company that owns Peet's Coffee, which is JAB Holding. One coffee company that's on the list of best is Counterculture, and I have to admit, an updated article on Thrillist, you'll see, has Counterculture listed as number 1. And if you look at the website, counterculturecoffee.com, you can see information about their sustainability, their direct trade practices, social responsibility, and in the article on Thrillist you can read how they scored the different coffees. So Counterculture is on my list, but Stumptown is truly the smoothest, tastiest coffee that I've had, and that's just from an untrained palate. I'm not a coffee writer. I'm not someone that's an expert in coffee. I do prefer a mild to medium roast. I prefer the third wave coffees, meaning not first wave, which is what you get in the grocery store. Second wave, which would be these chain coffees that you can drive through, and the third wave being the artisanal or craft type coffees that you would get in a coffee shop like Buongiorno here, where you have true coffee artists or baristas making your cup and using direct trade or a buyer to go to the different farms. Single origin means that they'll go to a certain region and get their coffee from a certain farm or a certain region and directly. And a lot of information out there on that. Anyway, I'll have a blog coming soon on Stumptown in particular. And I did visit Blue Bottle also. They're known for their pour-overs, and they had a great decaf. I visited them in the afternoon. Cafe Grumpy in Grand Central. Cafe Grumpy also makes a great cup of coffee, and it's right there in Grand Central Station. So the New York trip was awesome. Stumptown rocks. Intelligentsia was also really good. And thanks for your time.